Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for joining the call. And in the interest of respecting all those people who joined on time, I will also start on time. And thank you so much for joining this kickoff call of the Executive Coaches Forum. I will quickly put up a presentation, so I would just need a little help from some of you to tell me if you're able to see my screen. Give me a second. So I need a request if people can confirm if you're able to see my screen. See, okay. So let me get started with that. Give me a second till I figure out. Yeah. Okay. So good evening, everyone. A formal welcome to all of you to the Executive Coaches Forum kickoff. This is a forum that we recently created, and I'll share the background and context of why we are doing this, and also will be open to questions after I finish this 15 to 20 minute presentation on whether this forum would be relevant to you and would this interest you and how you would like to participate in this forum if it is of interest to you. Yeah. So I don't have too many slides. I have just 9 slides, out of which probably one is a welcome slide and the other is a thank you slide. So probably just 7 slides. The contents that we will cover will be who is this forum for, what's the purpose, what's the process we are proposing, what's the schedule that we have for this forum to ensure engagement on the forum on a constant basis, and what are the goals of this forum. So starting with who this forum is for. Essentially, the ECF has been designed as a membership forum purely by invitation. We as Planet Ganges Consulting are hosting the forum and have decided to manage this forum. And primarily it is for self-employed professionals who are certified coaches, or also those who are pursuing certification from ICF, are awaiting their ACC or are awaiting a PCC or whatever. It is also for those people, but it's primarily for self-employed professionals. If there is anyone on this forum who we have invited who is, say, working in a company, is gainfully employed, as I would say, this forum may not be suitable for such a person. But however, if somebody is leveraging coaching as a profession to make a living, or it's a part of his or her consulting practice, then this forum might be helpful for that person. Third, this forum is for those who are willing to create value and for deriving value. So most of the forums we go for as participants to see as to what is the value that it creates for us. This is one forum where we would expect one to contribute and also for one to then derive value out of it. So there could be people who may initially choose to derive value and contribute later, and there could be some who would be willing to contribute from the very first day and can also derive value subsequently as a part of that contribution. So it's essentially for these people, and I will share a little thought in terms of why we actually got into this and why we started the ECF forum to start with. A couple of weeks back, maybe I would say, late November, December, I was in a conversation with a few young coaches who had recently got certified and were looking to start their coaching practice. And they were quite excited about the fact that they were in ACC and they had completed it and successfully, and they were looking to, engage and get some paid clients. And so in my conversation, I realized that they actually had completed the ACC close to a year and a half back through various bodies like Ericsson, Coacharya. There are so many bodies that are certifying people, including David Rock's organization. And in my conversation, I actually learned that the 3 people who I was talking to, 2 of them had not even got a single paid client, and they were quite disappointed. After about half an hour conversation and talking around the topic for quite some time, reluctantly, one of them actually spoke and said, hey, you know what, I have not got a paid client yet, but I've been doing a lot of pro bono coaching. And, how do I actually crack this? And that is what got me actually thinking. And they were quite surprised when I shared with them that while I have been a professionally certified coach for more than 10 years, and I've worked with lots of leaders and handled many engagements, It took me almost 2 years before I got the first paying client, or what I would call a decent client, who paid me substantially or respectably for the coaching services that I was offering. And they were fairly surprised to hear that. And they were under the assumption that most of the coaches who are certified and working across the spectrum are probably having hundreds of clients, and this is a very rewarding practice. And they were a little disappointed that they were actually not making much headway despite having got a certification more than a year back. It was a comforting conversation probably for them when I shared that it took me time, but it also got me thinking that there are many people who are in this field who are obviously trying to contribute and trying to help, but probably we have more coaches than we have coachees in this space. And there could be opportunity for some of us who have probably stayed the course and achieved some amount of progress or success. I don't know, I want to call it success, but I'll definitely call it progress. We made some progress, and there could be opportunity for young coaches who have recently been certified. When I'm saying using the word young coaches, I'm talking about people who are recently certified, and those who are slightly more tenured and have some paying clients, to interact with each other and help each other as a part of this process. At the same time, while people are waiting for clients and looking to get business, it is also important to keep honing our coaching skills. And that's how the idea of this forum came to life in my head. And I said, okay, why not try doing this and see how many people would be interested? So with that in mind, we said we will make this forum by invitation to focus on self-employed certified coaches, and third, to look at people who are willing to contribute and also derive value out of it, because what you give is what you get. And last but not the least, we also agreed that internally, when we discussed in our organization, we said, okay, if we want to make this meaningful, we need to ensure there is participation and there is some value to the membership of being a part of this forum. So we also agreed that there has to be a process of earning credits by participating, to retain the ECF membership, to be a part of the forum, so that there is value creation as well as value that is derived in both ways. So the larger goal with which we started this forum, and hopefully we'll achieve it, is to create a professionally rewarding coaching and consulting practice for the coaches community. And that's the intent behind what ECF is hoping to do. So in a very broad sense, the purpose would be to enable networking amongst coaches, a lot of peer learning from probably coaches who are slightly more tenured, who have got more practice, and they can help. Also, how to generate business and how to actually approach client, how to deal with certain situations that we may be dealing with. Even as experienced coaches, many times we confront complex situations, in our coaching practice, and we may not have answers to all of this, and hence, it might be helpful as a peer learning forum. And last but not the least, I think essentially we are all in this to make sure it is a rewarding practice for us. All of us have invested time and money and effort in order to get certified, and we are looking at this as a rewarding practice for ourselves. So why not focus also on business development and how we should be pitching and how we should be generating business for ourselves and grow the community. So a couple of things that we have been doing over the last 4 to 6 weeks in order to launch this community. The first was we sent out a welcome mailer. Many of you would have got it, requesting and inviting you to join this forum. And I would like to thank each one of you who chose to accept the invitation, and most importantly also set aside the time to join this meeting, right? We were successful in achieving 50 plus members within 2 weeks of launch, and now we hope to actually reach up to 100 numbers, and then we would probably stop the enrollment process, because we don't want to create a very large community that we cannot potentially engage with. Yeah. Third step that I will talk a lot about is share with you the idea of ECF and the idea of a core committee and its role. Also share with you the proposed ECF events calendar that we are planning as a part of the engagement process. And subsequently, we're also looking at what kind of credits, and there might be questions in your mind in terms of what are the participation credits for renewal in case I choose to participate in this forum, and so on. So those are aspects. Just give me a second. I hope I am not speaking to myself. Okay. Slides are not moving on the screen. Oh, okay. So let me just, thank you. I'm sorry about this. Give me a second. Slides are static. Okay, Sunil Amanwar. Are you all stuck on the first page? Okay. Stop sharing. I'm sorry about this technical glitch. Let me see how we can fix it. Are you able to see the slides now? If somebody can WhatsApp me, because I can't see the chat window. Ruchira, if you can WhatsApp me on the group, please. Okay. Yes, okay, they are visible. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry about this. So we did the welcome mailer, we did the kickoff, and we got about 50 odd members. We shared the idea of, we will spend a few minutes sharing the idea of the ECF core committee and its role. We'll also share the proposed ECF events calendar, also the ECF member credits for renewal. After this meeting and some of these events, we will run a survey on the topics of interest across the community to actually understand what topics would be of more interest to people, so that we can actually plan or skew or change our events calendar accordingly. And we have set up member resources that we will talk through, and we will show you some of the resources and also talk about certain business opportunities that you could have with PGC or we could have otherwise also. Yeah. Now I'm going to move my next slide. So one of you, if you can just ping me and tell me if the slides have moved or not. If you could just ping me whether they have moved or they're moving. Okay, Ayushi, thank you. Okay. So the idea of the ECF core committee and the members' role is simple. We have requested for a few members. When we actually started off and we had 10 members, we had a short call with a few members and we shared this idea that I'm sharing with all of you. We had two volunteers. We had Ruchira Garg and Ayushi, who are actually pinging me on the side on a small WhatsApp group, who volunteered to be members of the first core committee members for Q1, which is starting April 2024 to say June 2024. The role of this member would be to publish the meeting topics and the speakers for the quarter, facilitate monthly meetings, the meeting which would typically happen around the third week of every month, as we are planning every third week and the third Thursday of the month, to facilitate the monthly meetings, design feedback surveys, and and launch after the meetings, and then publish the results to the community. So basically, the core committee would take on the responsibility of managing the forum. Otherwise, we don't want it to become a PGC forum. We are happy as Plant Ganges to be in the background and allow more members in the forum to actually take ownership for this. And we are happy to provide all kind of logistical support or technology support to make sure this forum is running, and also administrative support as may be needed to ensure that the forum is operating suitably. Yeah. The second is the events calendar. At this stage, as we are launching, we are not trying to do something really big. We want to start small and gradually grow it as we learn and we see the participation and enthusiasm in this group. We start with a monthly meeting. The agenda for the meeting and how the meeting will be done is open. So there will be a lot of ideas that will be sought from all of you in terms of how to make it valuable. The second is how do we run some peer coaching clinics, so that some of us who are young coaches or who may or may not have enough business at this point can work with some more tenured coaches, and there could be opportunities to practice skills and also bring out some unique situations in conversations wherein we can clarify our doubts and also probably debate some approaches that we could take when we are stuck with clients. And third, opportunities for pro bono coaching, and we'll create these opportunities on the forum so that through our network, so that there will be opportunities to showcase the power and the capability of coaching and to generate business for ourselves. Yeah, so these are few things that we thought about at this stage, and obviously these are all open to debate as we go along the journey. This is just the initial stage and we can evolve as we go further. The third piece is on the ECF credits for renewal. What we are saying is that every participation, every act of participation, people would be earning credit. So the core committee will also maintain, along with PGC's help, the record of participation So if somebody posts on the ECF community, right now it's not an open community. Once we open it up to members, many of you can post your articles, your thoughts, your blogs, and whatever you think is suitable and will help the community. So for that, there will be two credits that one can earn. If you attend the monthly meeting, say a monthly meeting like this or some other meeting which the forum will create, we can earn 5 credits. So approximately in 12 months, you could earn 60 credits here. If you participate in a coaching clinic, you could earn 10 credits. If you contribute to ECF resources in terms of a video or a blog or a video blog or something which could actually help other community members learn and grow, they could be 10 credits. Being a part of the core committee and contributing to the core committee, contributing to building the community, 25 credits per month. So if you do 1 quarter of core committee participation, 75 credits. And if you do offer pro bono coaching, which will help you generate business for yourself, that can generate another 25 credits. The idea of pro bono coaching is essentially to showcase the power of coaching to people who do not know what coaching is. Getting clients, we will facilitate from PGC. We'll also work as a community to use our network to facilitate clients to come in for an hour of pro bono coaching and experience coaching and share with us the feedback of how coaching has impacted them and how they found it useful. And this could potentially generate into business. And there are other ideas that can come forth, and we could probably evolve this model as we go along. The idea is that once we earn 100 credits, the membership gets renewed for the participant next year automatically, and those who do not earn the 100 credits will have to probably exit the community, and then we will allow for other members who are interested to join in, who are keen to participate and contribute. So that's the idea with which we're working, and that's how this community is likely to be very different from other forums and communities one may have joined in the past. Like I mentioned, the survey on topics of interest, the core committee member, which is currently 2 volunteers, Ruchira and Ayushi, who have raised their hands. It's still open that if there are other members after this call, a few people who want to participate and be a part of the core committee, we can have a 5-member core committee. And we could also have 1 or 2 observers who can observe how this process works. And those observers could become core committee members in the next quarter. So the core committee will actually launch a quarterly survey to check on the topics of interest so that they can actually design and publish the contents of the calendar for the upcoming quarter. The idea is to seek more ideas from people, and also we'll put in some topics of interest on the forum so people can actually respond to those topics, and accordingly we can actually discuss and agree upon what kind of content we would like to explore in this journey together. There are also ECF resources. We have created a YouTube channel, and there's a lot of videos out there that have been created by PGC. We'll keep publishing videos into that channel. We are also doing a lot of podcasts, and we are curating all the videos to be published. So our marketing team is working on it. So if any of you feel that there is content that you feel will be relevant to the community and you want to put it out there, we are happy to curate your video and make sure that the relevant content is published there, and you can earn credits for it as a part of participation. At the same time, you can also publicize your video, and we can provide you all the logistical support to edit and curate your video suitably and publish it as suitable content for all of us in the community to learn and grow from. Last but not the least, which is probably could be of interest to people, is the business opportunities. We as PGC have a very, I wouldn't say thriving, but I would say very active coaching practice, which we have built over the last 10 years. We do have large-scale coaching contracts. We have more than 15 empaneled coaches who have been with us for last 8 years and have been actively engaged in coaching. Besides coaching, we also do a lot of organization transformation projects, which are of very large scale. When I say large scale, I'm talking of really large scale in terms of helping organizations grow from a 1,000 crore business to a 2.5 crore business, 2-year or 1.5-2-year engagement, wherein we do complete revamp of organization design, structure, teams, capabilities, and so on. Most of our projects are in that space. So if there is some of these are areas of interest and there is collaboration opportunities possible, definitely we would consider that. But at the same time, I'll be very open and honest that we won't promise any business opportunities as a guarantee. But definitely, if the opportunities are there and there is an opportunity to collaborate, we will definitely look at collaborating collaboration opportunities with all of you as a part of this community. So that is one thing. And besides that, we could also look at how we can generate business opportunities for ourselves and create a vibrant coaching community as a team. Here is a proposed schedule that we got. What we are thinking is that we have started the work in March and we have reached where we are today. In full transparency, we started with almost nobody about 3 weeks back, and today we are at about 55 odd members. We hopefully by the end of mid of April we should be about 100 members, and then we will stop enrollments. From April, the intent is to start by the end of, rather let me say by the end of this month or by first week of April, we want to run the survey, get everyone's feedback and input so that we can decide on the agenda and the content for what we will do in our monthly meetings, how we want to run our peer coaching clinics, and also what kind of time we want to dedicate for pro bono coaching and sessions on pro bono coaching. So some of the dates that we have put here is we have picked the Thursdays of the week, the first, second, third, fourth Thursdays, leaving the fifth Thursday out, and for the first quarter to see how it goes. The maximum time investment by any individual would be anywhere between 1 hour to 2 hours a month. Any member, it won't be more than that, depending upon what you're liking to do. If you just want to be a part of the monthly meeting, it's 1 hour a month. And if you want to be a part of coaching clinic or a pro bono coaching, it's another additional hour or hour and a half. That's about it. That's the time investment that will be needed as to be a part of this forum. Yeah. What are the goals? Active skill building as professional coaches. I think it's so important because we have to stay contemporary. We have to keep honing our skills as we work with clients who come with different backgrounds and profiles, and we deal with different challenges as a part of a coaching process. Try to create a vibrant professional coaching network, which kind of helps us in a 360-degree manner. Also focus on business development and revenue generation. I think it's very important. There is coaching is a service, but it's a service with a fee. And last but not the least, which is a very important point in our mind for any community to thrive, is to be a producer and a consumer of learning at the same time. If I'm only looking at consuming learning, I'm only looking at what value it is some forum is going to create for me, and I'm just looking to derive value for myself, then this is probably not the best community to be in. But if I'm willing to offer something to my colleagues and my community, fellow community members, at the same time also derive learnings from them, then it's a win-win opportunity, and that is what I would urge and request all of you to keep in mind as you think about this community and what it would expect from you and what you could expect from the community in turn. Yeah. As I promised, 20 minutes. I won't take. I'll just open this up and I'll just stop the presentation. Give me a second while I go back to stop sharing. And if there are any questions, there is a Q&A tab on the left side, and I can see a hand raised. So if you can type in your question, I would be happy to take the question and answer. Since we are 20 attendees, I just don't want to unmute because it'll just go chaotic. So if you can type your questions, I'll be happy to take the questions, and your thoughts, I can share them with others. Interesting question. So this is a question from Nikshap, who talks about, are there any specific coaching approaches you prefer, or is it ICF methodology alone? So I think the principles of coaching are kind of constant across, irrespective of who we train from and what we do. And one of the things I learned as a professional coach, Nikshap, is that you need to learn the rules well enough to know when to break them. So we might use the ICF methodology, or you might use it if you feel you're comfortable. I don't entirely use the pure play ICF methodology. I will be upfront in sharing that. I use the methodology which I think works, and I have evolved the methodology, but it follows. It's deeply embedded in the process of the ICF guidelines. So it's up to you. some questions are coming up, I would also take a few minutes to introduce Ruchira Garg and Ayushi Chandra. Both of them had volunteered to be a part of the first initial core group. I'm unable to see the names for some reason, so give me a second to unmute them. Vidhi, can you unmute Ayushi or Ruchira so that they could just quickly share their thoughts, if any? I've been able. I can do that now. Give me a second. I'll just do it. Ayushi, yeah, Ayushi.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. Hey, hi everyone. Yeah, until about a year ago, I was actually working in the corporate world. I was in the analytics and consulting industry for more than 10 plus years. And yeah, after some time, I realized, there are other things that I wanted to do. And that's how I landed in coaching. So been practicing as a coach for about 1.5 years now. And like Anand said, it's not easy. It's quite a solo journey, which is why, Anand, thanks for creating this community. It's such a great initiative. And I'm looking forward to learning from everyone while also sharing my experiences and supporting each other. Yeah. Thanks, Anand. Not able to hear you, Anand.
Sorry, I was on mute. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Ruchira, I'll just unmute you if you can just quickly introduce yourself and also share your perspective.
Anand, can you hear me?
Able to hear you. Yes.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Anand, for having us join this group. And I think I resonate with Ayushi. It's a great forum for us. Especially as I left my corporate career after 20 years as I took this break and decided to do something different. And being in HR, we have a very different. We all think we are coaches when we are internally in any organization, but then resonating with one of your videos that there is very little, effort we can do in being totally non-judgmental as coaches when we are internal HR in a organization. So when you're on the other side, you experience coaching very differently. And as you rightly said, preparing for the certification probably is the easiest part because going through a training and it's pretty democratized these days. But getting this experience of what it really means has been, for me at least for the last 2-3 months that I've started doing this formally, has been quite an uphill task. And we also realize that people don't spend too much on their own development in India. So we do need some kind of a hand holding, some support in terms of our networks to get it into the corporates that are truly spending on coaching. And that's where I think this is a very welcome initiative. It really helps us get to know from our peers what's working, what doesn't. Maybe to some extent also, maybe break the rose tinted glasses that we have from outside about coaching and that, everybody can earn a lot from it. But really, it needs a lot of hard work, and that's why this forum is extremely critical to help us understand what it takes to develop professional coaching as a as a hustle, if not a full time work. I think from this forum, my biggest expectation is that we learn from each other and we also be not just takers but givers. Because in many other forums that I've joined, it's mostly everybody publicizing their services, but there is nothing more to learn. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and I hope that we can probably all of us, this community that we have together, can really learn a lot from each other and also provide opportunities to each other to learn from our experiences. So that's where I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you, Ruchira. Yeah, I'm also looking at some of the questions on the forum. As a couple of them. One is in terms of, can you elaborate on coaching clinics? Actually, I don't know if it's from Nikhil or with Nikshap, but anyway, I think the coaching clinic is essentially a practice. It's like peer coaching, wherein some of us can get together and we can bring up, a challenge that we may be facing and do 20 minutes or 30 minutes of coaching, talking through that particular challenge and allow someone to coach us. And as a part of the process, we could have an observer, typical to what ICF used to do, and we can have some feedback gathered from. So in triads, we could actually do that, and we can organize that on a particular day at particular time, so that a couple of us who sign up for that can practice and keep honing our skills. That is one. The coaching clinic could also be a situation where some of us could come with some challenges that we are experiencing with our clients. While coaching is very glamorous, some of you who are experienced coaches would understand that some clients can be really, really difficult, and they could actually challenge a coach substantially in terms of how to approach them, how to deal with them, and how to navigate through and get them to understand what is important. So some of these discussions can happen without disclosure of the names of the coachee or the organizations they work for, or intricate details, but at least at a broad level in terms of if one is getting stuck, one can learn from each other's experience. This could also be one of the ideas around that we can use in the coaching clinic. So it's open to these are the two ideas I'm currently dwelling on in my head, but I'm sure there can be many other things that we could do. But I think as we start getting engaged in conversations, we can learn from each other and figure out as to what would make most sense to most people on the group. What is the procedure to empanel coaches? Rajnikant Iyer, I think this is not a forum to empanel coaches. Let me be very honest. I just shared that there could be opportunities, business opportunities with Plant Ganges and some of our consulting contracts. Our empanelment process is not a part of discussion in this forum. That is completely a business discussion, which is outside of this forum. This forum is currently for peer learning and to work on strategies to generate business as a community together. Yeah, if there are opportunities, that could be a collateral benefit that could come up, but that's not a part of conversation in this forum for sure. Yeah. My question is, who are going to be the clients on the pro bono? Okay, Sanjeev Bhardwaj's question is, okay, who could be the clients on the pro bono session? That's a good question, actually. So if let's assume, and I'm just envisaging a situation where let's assume that 20 of us sign up for saying 1 hour of pro bono coaching. So that we have 20 hours of pro bono coaching opportunity available as an example. I'm happy to throw that out to 40 or 50 clients that we have, client organizations we have, where we do not do coaching, and tell them, hey, you know what, guys, there is an opportunity here. There's a community where there are some bunch of 20 coaches who are willing to offer 1 to 2 hours of their time to actually coach some of your senior leaders. And it is absolutely pro bono, absolutely for free, but it has to be run through a particular process of registration. And if you're interested, you could sign up for these 20 hours that is available. And we could probably allocate 4 hours to each client, because if you give everything free, I don't think people respect free. So we can make it available and we could see if people are interested. That is one thing I could do just as a gesture of help. Otherwise, there is no need for me to go and pitch. The other thing is, some of us who may have clients, and they might be senior coaches here, and I can see Nikhil is there. We have Sunil, we have Anant Narayan, and some of you who have been in this coaching practice for many years. You may have clients, and you may want to offer something similar to some of your clients who may be dormant, who are not probably engaging with you on this area anymore. And that could be another opportunity. So we have to figure out strategies as to how we could expand the offerings and how you could make it happen. And I can tell you from experience that many people do not understand what is coaching. And many times when I pitch to clients, I actually offered a couple of hours pro bono. And when I offered them pro bono, and when the leaders actually went back from the coaching session, they went back to their HR or to their line managers recommending that the organization should actually engage coaches. And it worked. And I generated my initial set of clients that way. And I continue to do that. And I continue to offer pro bono sessions to many of my clients who don't sign up for coaching, because they think coaching and mentoring is very common. It can be done by their supervisors and managers. And they don't understand the difference till they experience it. So it has worked, and I'm talking from experience. Some of you for some of you it may resonate, for some of you it may not resonate. Yeah, and I respect that, and hence it is voluntary. I mean, I'm not suggesting that everyone should, but whoever feels that they want to try it, there could be an opportunity and we could try it. Yeah. When you talk about business development, want to understand as to who picks up the contract and how the revenue sharing model. Too early, Anant. It's too early to talk about it. I think we can't talk about we're just planting trees right now. How many mangoes will come in 5 years or 4 years or 2 years or whatever that period is, what the thing will be, and we don't know what will that be. So it depends. If somebody is referring their clients and you want to do a revenue sharing, you could do it together with each other. There is PGC need not be involved, but as far as our clients are concerned, we have a model with which we work and we operate, and as and when if there is an opportunity and we feel there is a suitable opportunity, it will be spoken to the individual person directly. So this won't be done as a part of the community. It will be done more individually with the individual coaches. Yeah. I'm certified CFI coach practicing independently. What procedure do you have for empanelment? Again, I think empanelment is a separate conversation, so I'll leave that out for now. Is there a plan to give back to society of a pro bono to NGOs and students? I'm not engaged with any NGOs or with student communities, so I don't have any network in that space. But if some of you do have network and some of you want to contribute, I think it's absolutely open. I think that it's a welcome idea. But we as a company, or I as a professional, have only focused on CXO coaching. So that's been my area of specialization, and I'm comfortable sticking to that space, right? But if there are people who are interested in this community to work with students and startups, absolutely welcome, and we could think about it. Yeah. Is there a place for this group of coaches who are not looking to do executive coaching but want to cooperate with niche like parenting coaching, nutrition coaching? Absolutely. I think again, this is one of the ideas we could throw into the group. You could see how many people are interested. If we want to create a subcommittee or a subgroup or another community or something on the side, I mean, absolutely welcome. See, at the end of the day, whatever makes sense, whatever drives our passion, I think people are free to do it. Like I said, this is not a community where there's a membership fee, or we're not doing anything here. It is completely a community to bring people together, and people who are like-minded, people who have similar ideas. If they want to go out and do something separately, I think they're most welcome to do it. But as far as we are concerned, from PGC, our intent is to nurture the coaching practice, to support young coaches who are in this profession, so that we can provide them a platform where they have opportunities to engage and work with some of the coaches who may be seniority primarily in terms of experience of coaching, nothing else, and so that there is an opportunity to learn from each other and find a sense of support. So that's the idea, and alongside, continue to create opportunities where people can practice coaching either through pro bono or through coaching clinics and keep generating business for themselves. That's what we are facilitating here as as PGC. The names that are not coming up in this chat is in the webinar tool. Makes sense to know the names instead of just the attendee. Okay. I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know, Anant. Oh, I didn't know that it's not visible. So, guys, I want to share that we are using Zoho webinar for the first time. We've been using Zoom earlier. We used MS Teams earlier, but let me be very honest. We looked at the entire technology workflow, and we realized that if we use Zoom, to integrate Zoom, we need to have another CRM. Otherwise, we don't get the email IDs tomorrow. If we want to create a community and pass on mailers or send emails to people, it's very hard to do it. So we just thought we should use something which is more integrated. Zoho has an integrated platform called Marketing Plus, and which has actually the ability to create email campaigns, also has the ability to run webinars, and also capture all the details in one place. If we want to communicate with you, we can actually communicate with the click of a button, which makes it more efficient for us. And we as a company believe in complete technology enablement, and we want to use technology to the fullest. And we felt this platform would be probably the most suitable platform for us, which instead of struggling with integrating multiple, different platforms like, have a CRM on Zoho and have, another tool like Zoom and so on and so forth. So that's how we're thinking. So I'm sorry, we are also learning, and if there are, as we go through the journey, we hopefully will figure this tool out and make sure that the names are displayed, Anand. Shweta Chauhan's question is, how do you plan to assign pro bono coaches to a coach? Will the client pick based on the profile, or you will assign? It's more from the perspective of young coaches who will get the opportunity. That's actually a very good question. And, actually, I will answer it in a slightly broader way, Shweta, but I have not thought about how will we assign coaches, to be very honest. But I can tell you from my experience as to how I do it. When I get a coaching assignment, say if I go to a client and I get an assignment of 10 leaders who need to be coached. Now, obviously, 10 leaders can't be coached by one person, right? First of all, it's going to be hard to have just one coach work with 10 leaders of the same organization. So one of the things we do as Planet Ganges, and this my learning I'm sharing openly, is, I have a sense of profile of every coach who is empaneled with us. And I actually spend a lot of time. I spend about 10 hours, which is 1 hour with each of the potential coachee, to understand, what kind of profile does this coachee come from? What is his background or her background? Which coach will be the most suitable person for this individual? In some cases, it could be me. In some cases, it could be someone else. And I make sure, as a part of process, that each of my potential clients meets with minimum 2 coaches, in the part of a chemistry meeting. And in the part of the chemistry meeting, he or she, as a leader, is free to choose whether they choose me or they choose another coach who is empaneled with the organization. I don't care, but my focus is to ensure that the coachee gets the best coach who he or she is comfortable with. And that has worked immensely well for me for the last 8 years. It sounds stupid to many people, because many of them think, okay, you lose business because you actually offer another coach, and actually you lose your business. And it's true. But I've done it for the last 8 years, and I've succeeded, because I've succeeded in retaining the client. I've succeeded in getting more coaching assignments, and I've always focused what is best for the coachee. So that has worked, and I've done it personally for many years. I don't think it is scalable. But as we, as a community, look at this and we think about pro bono coaching, we may have to figure out a method, because sometimes some coaches are more suitable to others, and we have to be have some process to objectively look at it. I don't have a clear answer at this point, to be very honest, but we'll have to figure it out, as we go along together. I'm sure it'll be in the settings. Okay, thanks, Anand. Apologies for this question. It seems to be direct. I noticed that you're taking a lot of effort to create another community. What is in it for you? Yeah, Mridul, actually, it's a good question. I'm glad actually you're asking this question. What is in it for me? Yeah. So I'll tell you 2 things. What is in it for me? I'll stop from that, and then I'll talk to you. I'll reply what is in it for PGC. Okay, both. I'll answer it from both lenses. What is in it for me? Personally, when I started my coaching journey, and in 2013, and then I actually left the corporate in 2015, I struggled to get clients. A lot of people gave me rosy stories. I was part of the ICF Bangalore chapter. A lot of people would talk about coaching, talk about, how coaching is very helpful. I spent a lot of money, personal money, to get certified. And, I also went for a lot of coaching meetings and met a lot of coaches, did morning meetings, breakfast meetings, had idli dosas, and did a lot of things. Nothing got me business. A lot of people who were in the coaching community, and I'm being very honest here, a lot of people used to keep boasting that they have a lot of clients. And interestingly, and I kept saying, actually, I have no clients. I'm still looking for work. And many people were saying that they had clients. And as I figured out when I was talking to, other coaches, I realized that many of them were just faking it, because it was embarrassing for people to admit that they didn't have clients. And probably I was being naive, admitting that I didn't have clients. Yeah, but I was okay with that. And I continue. And as I am now, over the last 8 years, I've been working in this space, and I've, worked with more than 150 senior leaders and coached them. And I have more than some 4,000 hours of coaching. I don't keep publishing this, but broadly about 4,000 hours of coaching experience now. When I talk to people, I still hear the same things. But when I had a heart-to-heart conversation in November, December with these three people, I actually realized that this whole concept of faking it to making it, I think is completely ill-conceived. I think what we learned as a part of being a coach is authenticity. And it takes a lot of courage to be authentic. It takes a lot of courage to admit that, I'm not doing as well as I wish I was doing. I am not doing as well as I want to be doing. I still have a long way to go. And I have no qualms in admitting that I struggled. And I'm not ashamed of my struggle. I'm extremely proud of it. And I'm also not claiming that I'm very successful. I'm still struggling, and I'm comfortable struggling, and I'm happy with where I am. Hence, I felt that for those people who feel the way I feel, who feel that there is sense in what I'm saying, and who feel that this is the right way to approach and a safe space for us to engage with each other. And we don't have to fake anything. We just have to be who we are. And if you're doing well, so be it. God has been kind. If you're not doing well, God will be kind one day. And we should keep working on it. So I personally felt this was important for me to start, Mridul. So I said I will start it, and let's see how it goes, right? Hence, it is absolutely voluntary. If somebody thinks that it makes sense, great. If somebody feels it doesn't make sense to them, I completely respect, what they may think and what they feel. Secondly, what is in it for PGC? So since we were doing it as a company, and obviously there's time investment and effort, that is what we will have. The cost is actually a sunk cost. Using the technology and platform is a sunk cost. It doesn't cost me additional money to do it. There could be opportunities tomorrow as our coaching practice and consulting businesses are growing. There could be opportunities for some collaboration with a few people from this community. We have various other networks in which we source from, and we are a part of various networks. So I do get a lot of I do have a lot of contacts and network which helps me get the people to partner with me on my various consulting projects that we deliver for our clients. At the same time, I thought that maybe we could expand it by having a community like ECF, which could also be a potential source, right? It could be one of the 5 sources that I may have, right? And we said we could probably do that, and there's no harm in doing it. So with a personal passion that I have, I thought there could be a business value also. And that's how I got my team to rally around it. And I said, okay, let's do this and see, how it fructifies. If it doesn't result in any value to PGC, I'm perfectly okay with that, because we already have an existing business and an existing model that is working pretty well for us. And if it does add to it, probably it will be a benefit. No harm in doing it. So that's a very honest response, Mridul, to what you asked. How does one volunteer for pro bono coaching? Yeah, we will run a survey, Sujata, and you could choose. Actually, there is also a poll which is out there on the next tab. If you click on the poll, there are 2 questions, and in those 2 questions, you can actually choose what is of interest to you, and that data will hopefully come. I hope it will come. If it doesn't come, we'll run a survey subsequently. Okay, fine, Vijayashree. I think you have to run for a meeting, which is fine. Thank you so much. Any other questions? We still have 11 minutes. Otherwise, we can definitely wrap up this meeting if we don't have any further questions. But if there are any further questions, we have another 10 minutes that I can take. And as I promised, the intent in this forum will be we will always start on time and will always end on time. That will be our endeavor, and we will hold ourselves accountable to that, so that we value and respect everyone's time of people in this community who are investing their time. So, and that is something that will be a non-negotiable element in the framework that the core committee will work with, so that we learn how to manage our time well as a community. Still curious to know about PGC, Sanjeev. I think this is not the forum. Feel free to go to our website and you can see what we are doing. You can go to our LinkedIn page and you can see what we are doing. So, Sanjeev, I think that's a conversation outside of this group. Thank you, though, for asking the question. Any other questions on ECF that may be playing on your mind? Any thoughts? And also, if you don't, I think in the last 10 minutes, I would just say it might take you a minute or 2. There are only 2 questions. Is the ECF idea relevant to you? There's a yes and no or a maybe. So feel free to respond the way you think it is suitable. And which of the initiatives you would like to be to participate in? Obviously, the question is the answer to the first question is yes. Then you need to answer the second question, which is which are the initiatives you'd like to be a part of? Yeah. And I'll again say it very respectfully. If any of you feel this may not add value to you, if any of you feel that this is not the right forum for you, we completely, and I personally completely respect the decision, and I completely understand. But any of you who choose to be a part of the community, my request would be to wholeheartedly participate. Look at what you give, like we learn oftentimes in coaching and a part of the whole self-development journey. Before we look at what we are looking to gain, if we can think about what are we wanting to give to the community, with that mindset, if we come in, I think the community will be will actually work well for all of us. Yeah. So once if everyone has answered the questions, then I'm actually just publishing the results to see what the results are. So back to the list. Give me a second. So 14 out of 16 have voted. I think the balance members have not yet voted, about 20. There are a few people who are on maybe. There could be a few people on no also, which is perfectly fine. So for those who voted yes, definitely please consider looking at how you'd like to participate. Yeah. And then I'll go to the second one, which is be a part of the core team. There are 7 people who want to be a part of the core team. Feel free to, we will just run a quick survey. We'll figure out a way to run a survey on Zoho, wherein we can ask the names of the specific people, and we'll also check whether we can get those details from the back end of this system. Coaching clinics, there are 13 who are interested in coaching clinic out of 18 people who voted. Pro bono, 18 on 18 have voted for pro bono. And for BD activities, 7 out of 18 have voted for BD activities. Yeah. So another minute or two if somebody wants to vote, otherwise we'll conclude the call. I'd like to thank all of you for taking time out on a Thursday evening to join this call and participate on this call. I truly appreciate and respect your time, and look forward to engaging with all of you in some form or shape, either on the forum or outside the forum. Thank you very much. With that, I would conclude the call.